Yeah. Oh, I love that. I love that opening.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's got COVID.
He does have COVID. Yes.
He does. He has COVID.
He was supposed to be at a live event, and they announced, "Hey guys, sorry, but LA Knight won't be here, and if you want a refund, we'll give it to you." So that just happened last weekend. So yeah,
Dr. Chris, it's so good to be back with you here on UnSKripted, live only on Sportskeeda Wrestle Binge.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. We're going to have a lot of fun, just like we do every single week, man. So how are you, my man?
I'm good. And the big news, of course, the press release today coming from WWE Communications Department. May I read it to all of you? I saved it on my cell phone here.
Absolutely.
It is dated from Stamford, Connecticut. That sound like Howard Cosell? You remember him?
Yeah, I do remember Howard Cosell.
It is from Stamford, Connecticut, and it is retributive. I used to love Howard. And it says September 26, 2023, WWE, part of TKO Group Holdings, not Group Holdings, today announced it has signed Jade Cargill. To a multi-year contract. This isn't a passing phase here. Cargill, a standout performer who has earned accolades as an industry renowned talent, in parentheses AEW, that's not in here, will begin training today at the Performance Center in Orlando. What do you want to see when they bring her into main roster, Raw or SmackDown? What do you want to see right out of the gate? I've got an idea what I want to see, but I want to hear what you've got, what you have.
Well, Vince and I talked about this subject recently.
Which Vince are you talking about? McMahon?
He and I we chatted about it. Yeah, of course I'm talking about Vince McMahon.
Stop making fun of me. You're fired.
You're fired. So Vince Roos, bro. So here's the thing. This is what.
Wait. Did you say Vince Roos, bro?
I did. I said Roos, bro.
I love that. Yeah, that's him.
Yes, it's original. It's a Dr. Chris original. Vince Roos, bro. Yes. Yeah. And so, what I think Jade Cargill, what I think would be good for her, would be. So, she's got a lot of work to do with her in-ring work and her character development. But you know who else had a lot of the work to do with their in-ring work and their character development and became one of the most popular women of all time in pro wrestling?
We talking about current person?
No, period.
Oh, there's dozens of those I could think of.
Yeah,
going all the way back to Wendy
China
Richter.
is who I'm thinking of. So China came in, and she did not have. Didn't have much good ring work. She didn't have good promo skills, but she looked like an absolute monster. All right,
yeah.
And so she came in, ragdolling Terry Runnels, and people were shocked by it. And she became the heavy for Triple H. Triple H didn't need a heavy. He's huge. He doesn't need any help. But a female heavy for a male was a really, really cool dynamic that worked. I think 25 years later, 25 plus years later, you can bring that concept back, and you can have Jade, as she's working on her craft and her promo skills, you can still bring her on television, not saying much, not wrestling much, but being a heavy to Austin Theory. I think that she should be a bodyguard for Austin Theory. And I think that Austin Theory, it would bring a much needed element in the career of Austin Theory, which is flatlined, which doesn't seem to have much life to it because it keeps flatlining every time they try to push him. And so there needs to be a major overhaul. Like I see Austin Theory very, very similar to how John Cena was before he completely overhauled his gimmick to the rap gimmick. John Cena said in many interviews before, the the type of ruthless aggression style, Kurt Angle in your face, and then he turned heel after that on Billy Kidman. He was almost fired. He was almost fired from his job because it was very similar Austin Theory. It started to plateau. They didn't see much with it. So what happened was Stephanie McMahon saw him freestyling backstage, and Stephanie McMahon is what caused, well, John Cena freestyling and Stephanie McMahon seeing that. That's what caused John Cena to keep his job and become one of the most popular WWE wrestlers of all time. I think Austin Theory needs a major overhaul, or it's going to be very similar to him. It's a very similar trajectory, and I think Jade Cargill would be a very interesting dynamic to his career. Of course, they can break away from each other within next year or so, but I would give that. I would give her the presence because she has such a presence to her that would work so much. She just put her on the TV, but don't expose her by putting her in the ring or putting her on the mic.
Oh, see, I've got totally different. If I book it, it's going two different ways.
Okay.
The first could be the quick kill. As you know, Nia Jax is causing disruption in the women's division.
Okay.
She's destroying everyone. What if Bobby Lashley, who is very upset at his crew right now, brings Jade in, and she comes to the ring and does the Hogan Andre thing and picks up Nia Jax, lifts her, dumps her, boom, statement made. What do you think?
So back in 1986, that would have been really cool. But here's the problem.
That would work today?
Here's the problem with that, in my opinion, Bill. I think the problem with that is the type of fans that we're talking about right now is not Hogan Andre fans.
This would be a shock.
Sure. But I mean, how long does shocks last? Where's the payoff in that? It's sure to be a shock.
Where you go from there. Sure, you build up the feud with she and Nia Jax, with Nia Jax saying, "No one's ever done that to me. You're going to get your butt kicked," and it works from there.
Who's the baby?
The fans have to decide that. Probably Jade.
The baby's the one that has to do most of the ring work, though.
Yeah, well, I think they could probably work that out, but I could see her. For the other question is, are we taking it for granted that the WWE universe, the majority of them, know who Jade is?
I think that's a good point. I think that's a good point. I don't think I wouldn't assume that a majority of the WWE universe does. So I think it's interesting because I heard that they showed a Brian Pillman Jr. vignette on NXT. I didn't see it, but I heard that they did it with, which I think that's a great idea because it's assuming that the WWE universe doesn't know who Brian Pillman Jr. is.
Right.
And I think it's great because I didn't see the vignette, but I'm hoping that they would carry Brian Pillman Sr. and have, because the thing is, WWE has this weird thing with not carrying the banner of the senior or the father to the other talent, similar to what they did to Michael McGillicuddy with, two generations above him, Kurt Hennig and grandfather
Sure.
Larry the Axe Hennig, right? I think that's a horrible idea. Why wouldn't you do that? You know what I mean?
Sure.
I think that Brian Pillman Jr. He has an opportunity to really carry the Pillman name. If you make him a loose cannon type of gimmick, I think it would work, man. I think it would really work.
Loose
So I'm
Cannon
looking forward to
Jr.
that. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
looking forward to
yeah.
that. Yeah,
Yeah, but
looking forward to what they do with
in
it.
terms of historical, you're right. For example, Roman Reigns is the son of Wild Samoan
True,
Sika. Look at the
true.
bloodline
Yeah,
there. But getting back to Jade, the other way they could bring her in is run these vignettes over and over, and then in January at the Royal Rumble, she comes out as number 1 or number 2 in the Women's Royal Rumble, and she rumbles over everybody. I would love to see that happen. But is it too early? Is it
too
too?
early.
Is September, October, November, December, January, 3 months? Did they keep her in vignettes that long?
I wouldn't have her win the Royal Rumble. I wouldn't even have her be in the Royal Rumble.
Why not?
Because she's green, man. She's green. She can't. She has so much work to do in the ring. It's criminal almost how
But
much
that's why
work she
she's at
has
the
to do.
Performance Center.
Yeah, but
We don't know how long she's going to be there for.
but 3 months. Look, you're talking the Royal Rumble's in 4 months. All right,
Mhm.
4 months isn't enough to overhaul Jade Cargill in the ring. She has a lot of she. I think she was thrust way too soon in AEW. Tony Khan saw money in her as a figure and used that to his advantage. But the problem with that is she was green as grass in the ring. And the problem with, and also with that, is that she didn't have enough time to really mature in the ring because she was always defending the TBS championship. And so I think, look, man, if it's good, things are worth the wait. Period.
Absolutely.
It's worth the wait. I would give it time. I wouldn't make it premature. You know,
Well,
the
that's
way
why
that
I suggested the Rumble.
the way that
It's not until January.
that's 4 months from now. That's going to
Yeah,
be quick.
that could be enough time.
I don't think 4 months is enough time to build.
Depends on the individual, doesn't it?
I think that's fair to say. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's fair to say. But I don't think with Jade Cargill, that would be the person. I think that if look, it's worth the wait, and I think of things as ovens, not microwaves. And we have such a microwave society, period, psychologically, that people just want stuff to happen quick. No, man. Steak it up, man. Like the best way to cook a steak is to give it some time, give it a nice temperature, give it a little time,
sizzle.
make it sizzle, man. Don't
Well,
put it in a microwave for 5 minutes and say, give it some time, man.
well, they could have her. They could also have little teases. We're doing this unscripted, of course.
Absolutely.
But little teases of her watching other, not being on the microphone or anything, but just backstage, looking at the monitor and taking notes. And I think I mentioned Bobby Lashley because for a long time, when I thought about Jade coming to WWE, when we started hearing the rumors, that pairing her with him as the manager and mentor with her just seems to me, for some reason, to be a really good pairing. I don't know why. It's just something I feel.
Yeah, I mean, I respect that. Yeah,
because he's looking for someone to make a champion at this point. And I just think I know there are other advisors and
Yeah,
managers and all that, but right now what they're doing with Bobby Lashley is he as I mentioned at the beginning of the show, he's not satisfied with what he has right now. So this impending entrance of
yeah,
her
yeah, yeah.
just seems to
I
be the
think that
right
that's
marriage.
I think that's probably um yeah, I mean I can see that. I think the issue with that is that they want her to put some reps in first because she's going to the performance center because she's got some time, to really hone in her craft. She didn't really hone in her craft in AEW much. I mean,
No,
she
no.
botched a lot. And again, I'm not really going to blame. I'm not going to blame Jade Cargill for that because she's an athlete. She's a stud athlete. She played basketball,
Yeah.
when she was in high school and in college, and so she's a basketball player. So it's being a basketball player doesn't automatically translate to being a professional wrestler. Just because you're a good athlete in basketball doesn't mean you have that wrestler's athleticism.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
big difference. And to Jade's credit, she came in, she was thrust into a major position. She was like 60 and something, 60 and two. I think she just recently lost again. So for like a year and a half, she was
She was
champ.
Goldberg.
She was very
Yeah,
Goldberg-esque,
yeah,
absolutely.
yeah, yeah.
And the thing with Jade is that they thrust her in and they didn't give her an opportunity to really hone her craft. I think WWE won't make that same mistake. They're
Hmm.
not going to thrust her in and hone in her craft because they understand the pulse of the fans nowadays. They're not looking for Goldberg anymore. They're looking for matches and things like that. Although I would say psychologically that a lot of times people don't realize they need something until it's presented back to them. And just how Goldberg beat Brock Lesnar in less than 90 seconds, and that was one of the
Oh
most
yeah,
shocking things at
yeah,
SummerSlam, right?
yeah. I
People
was
didn't.
there.
Yeah, people are like, "Oh, Oldberg," and as soon as that happened, whoa, it was a big shocker, and people realized they wanted that, but then they didn't realize they didn't miss it until it was presented to them again. So I'm
The
really looking forward to it. I'm high on the potential of Jade Cargill. I think she has a lot. I'm not sold on her right now as far as her in-ring work and her promo work. Athleticism, major. She's phenomenal. But at the same time, let it sizzle, man. Do the
the
steak treatment with
buzz,
Jade. Yeah,
the
absolutely.
buzz on the internet from the fans, and
Hmm.
I look at a lot of what the fans send me,
Hmm.
and on Sportskeeda, is they want to see her already matched with Bianca Belair.
Yes, but here's my criticism to that. Fans of nowadays, they're so microwave. They're so we want this now, 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 and we don't
Give
want to
me a
wait.
TV dinner,
Yeah,
right?
just yeah, exactly. I want a TV dinner. I want a Salisbury steak TV dinner and call it a ribeye, right, or a T-bone. You know what I mean? Like, and
Good
that's
point.
the that's the psychology of a lot of wrestling fans nowadays. And then the same microwave type of mentality when they give it to them, they criticize it. You know what I mean? And so and that happens all the time. That's the reason why you can't allow the fans to control everything. If you got a storyline, map it out, give it some time, and the fans are going to gravitate into it. I remember people were complaining about the bloodline at the very beginning. You know what I
Sure.
mean? And that became a very, very good storyline for 3 years. If just allow things to just kind of to give us some time, make it work,
Yeah, if
and
this was
and
ages ago and they could do this, it would be great for her to make her debut. And the broadcasters, oh my God, isn't she from? Wait, wait, what is she doing here?
yeah,
There's Cody's here,
yeah,
Jade is here.
yeah.
Who's coming next?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. See, that would be
Yeah,
interesting if they did like a faction of AEW defects.
That would be great. That would be great.
Ooh, Cody, Jade, Brian Pillman Jr. is an AEW defect.
That's right. That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
That's
So
right.
that would be
And
interesting.
I understand there might be one other main roster AEW guy who's looking also to come into WWE because, as I was saying, that Jade growing up was probably watching TV and seeing WWF back
Mm,
then or WWE.
mhm,
And even though she's AEW is a great place to be, that
mhm,
whole thing is, I want to be there. That's what I grew up watching.
mhm.
So,
Oh
I
yeah,
wish her good luck there.
yeah.
Really
I,
do.
I agree. I'm for it. I'm definitely for it. At the end of the day, AEW provides a great alternative for people who can't be in the WWE or left the WWE or got released. It's been
Or
very
like
helpful
sports
to a lot of people.
entertainment,
Sure,
or
it's,
a fan
yeah,
that
it's
doesn't like. They're two different things. It's, for example, like watching ECW and WWF back then. It's two different things.
yeah, and I've said that before on my shows. There's a big there's a stark difference between a stark
Stark.
difference,
Oh,
a
okay. Now you
stark
know where I'm going. Yeah,
difference
yeah.
between AEW and WWE because Vince Russo and I talked about Kenny Omega before, and I said I don't think Kenny Omega would have the same level of fame in the WWE as he does in
I agree.
AEW.
100%.
And he asked me why, and I said because Kenny Omega is a phenomenal wrestler, but he's not a phenomenal sports entertainer. And that's a
Correct.
big difference between the two companies is that it's wrestling versus sports entertainment. Anybody can run circles in the ring, but WWE is a sports entertainment company. You got to have a character, you got to work on your character building. And
And the
so
one guy,
and
who can do all of that came from WWE and he's in AEW, and that's Chris Jericho.
yeah,
He can
Jericho,
work,
absolutely.
he can be
Yep.
that clean, scientific,
Yeah.
technical wrestler when
Yeah.
needed, and
Yeah.
he's a great sports entertainer as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, I think Christian Cage is good too. I think he's
Yes,
real. I
yes.
think I man, talk about someone who knows how to revive his character.
Wow.
Who's been in the business for over 25 years and is still in 2023 is one of the biggest heels, in the entire pro wrestling. Like, MJF was, last year and the year before, when you think of like the top heels of pro wrestling, MJF was that, and he was really good at it. But Christian Cage, man, he knows how to get some heat. He's old school, man. He knows how to
Yeah,
draw some, and
yeah,
I love it, man. I love it.
a few weeks ago on AEW when he said, I forgot who Luchasaurus had in the backbreaker in the back. I think it was Jungle Boy,
Mhm.
maybe.
Probably
And
not
he
Jungle Boy because he's a heel
no,
now.
no, it wasn't
He's
Jungle
gone.
Boy because
Yeah.
he's a heel now.
Mhm.
But when Christian pointed to him, said, "Oh, you want to wrestle us? You're not." And he was so
Probably Darby
convincing.
Allin.
Yes, that's who it was. It was
Okay.
Darby. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. So just changing topics here because I know we're on a time limit here. I found out through many sources that one of the reasons that Matt Riddle was probably let go wasn't just the JFK airport incident, but Dana White has come out and said that he was a problem kid
Yep.
in MMA
He's got heat.
back then. And
Yeah.
I think
Yep.
now
Same.
that the
Yep.
companies have merged with
Hmm.
each other, I think it was a joint decision that is it worth having this kid maybe
Yeah.
give us some trouble here.
Yep, yeah. It was more of a tip of the iceberg type of thing. It wasn't necessarily a one-off decision to let him go because, Riddle's been involved in a couple other things too, as far as just him being very free spirited to a fault a lot of times. You know what I mean? And so, he did, have some heat in UFC from what I've heard as well. And
So that's
yeah. So
probably
Dana
what
White,
the
yeah,
jettison. Now,
yeah,
another thing that came up when we discussed this on the taping of Time Machine with Teddy Long and Mac Davis earlier today was that Undertaker said if MJF would come to the big federation here, he'd love to work with him. Do you think MJF would have that uh, same thing in WWE that he
Same
has right now?
moxie.
Yeah, because you can't curse in WWE. He can get
Yeah.
away with it in AEW. But where would you place MJF if he came into WWE? Where would he fit? On the LA Knight level?
I think that MJF prides himself of being edgy, and he's going to have to tone down a ton in the WWE.
Yeah.
But the good thing about MJF though is that he knows how to draw heat very, very well.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't think he would have any issue taming his promos down and still getting really good heat.
Okay.
I think that honestly, personally, I would make him an absolute star in NXT. I would make him the top heel in NXT. I would have him, vie for the NXT championship. As a matter of fact, I would have him win it quickly. I would have, because he has the ring work, he has the promo skills. He's ready.
I think he'd think NXT might be below him.
Not if the money is sounding right. I definitely don't think he would think that way. So I think that, and plus, if the deal is we'll put you in NXT for now to put you on the main roster, but still get you, still give you good money, and that be a part of the deal, I'm sure he wouldn't mind, especially if they're going to make him the champion in NXT quickly. And I think, I wouldn't even mind, honestly, I wouldn't even mind, some type of open challenge type of deal, and him doing a Carlito gig when Carlito won, the championship on his first match. You know what I mean? And what other wrestlers won championships with first match? I think Jerry Lynn won the light heavyweight championship on his first match.
Correct.
Yeah. There's some people who won match. Then the Giant won the WCW championship against Hulk Hogan in his first match. Yeah. So MJF, I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind.
Well, he would win that if he won it first time out, and he could say this belt is garbage. I want to go up to the main roster.
There you go.
So,
that would be really interesting. Yeah.
I know we're pressed for time tonight. I want to congratulate you on 600 episodes of
Thank you, man.
Pancakes
show.
Yes, by the way.
Yes. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Yes.
Do we have any fans chiming in before we go tonight?
Yeah. So we got a lot of people talking about Tony Khan, and a lot of people talking. How do they plan to use Edge in AEW? What do you think about that before we go?
To me, I think Edge will stay loyal to WWE. That's just my feeling.
His best friends in AEW, man.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean? So perhaps if the money's right, and
again, it's not Vince McMahon anymore, so it's a different company. So maybe loyalty.
That's a good point. The loyalty isn't as strong as it used to be because it's a Ari Emanuel owned company now, and not to Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon and Ari Emanuel, ladies and gentlemen.
Unquestionably, I get top billing.
Yes, indeed. All right. Before we go, my man Bill Apter, what you got to promote?
Oh, well, I want to congratulate Tommy Fierro, ISPW in New Jersey, for 25 years promoting wrestling. He's got his anniversary show in New Jersey this coming weekend. Go to ispw.com to find out. He's got a big convention that I'm hoping to be at. And I've been signed. I'm breaking news here. I haven't mentioned this anywhere. I've been signed for SICW, St. Louis Championship Wrestling, for their major convention next year in May. Nice. Wonderful Willie will be there. I haven't mentioned that anywhere. Details being worked out to do my one-man show there. And next week, by the way, we have a very special guest, don't we?
Yes, we do. We have Lloyd and Hawaii on the show
Yes.
next week. It will
Bloodline.
be, yes, talking about some bloodline stuff. Indeed. So be sure to check that out next Tuesday. As far as my neck of the woods, tomorrow night, Vince Russo and I will be live following Dynamite, or the first ever Legion of Dynamite show.
This is new.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Whoa,
the Legion of Dynamite. Great. That should be interesting. It's probably going to be a one-off. We'll see how it goes. If fans, yes, yes. If fans like it, maybe we can get it in the works to continue. But I got a vacation coming up, so we're doing some scheduling changes, and so Legion of Dynamite is tomorrow night. So be sure to check that out.
Wait, can you do that as JJ Walker? The Legion of what?
Legion of Dynamite.
Dynamite.
There you go. So and for everybody who's here, come over to Pancakes and Power Slams. Now we've got a live Q&A with John Cena Sr.
Send my love to him.
Yes,
one of
indeed.
My favorite people in the whole world. And don't forget, everybody out there, after you watch Chris's show, to subscribe to Sportskeeda Wrestle Binge.
Yes, indeed.
It's where all the great stuff happens.
Yes, indeed. Be sure to subscribe here. Again, tomorrow, Legion of Dynamite with Vince Russo and I. We got the Time Machine with Bill. We got Whiting with Russo with myself and Vince. We got the Wrestling Outlaws with myself, Vince, and EC3. We got Teddy Playa. We got Mac Davis. You know, and
Mac Davis. We do have him. All right.
Yes, indeed. All right, come on, y'all. Come on through for episode 600 Pancakes and Power Slams. We got John Cena Sr. coming over now. Pancakes and Power Slams YouTube. UnSKripted, Wrestle Binge, everything. We got RVD in the building with us.
Yes, exclusive interview I did with him.
Indeed. Go check that out. Be sure to subscribe here. Until next time. This right here is this is Bill Apter. We'll see you at the matches.
Dr. Chris.
See you at the matches.
At the matches.
So